Happy Saturday. Let me show you. It's Saturday evening. Let me show you the light. It's a really bright orange glow currently. It's very nice. I've been working at USP all morning, Japanese Grand Prix. I'll be going to bed shortly and doing the same thing again tomorrow morning, and then hopefully tomorrow will be a bit more like this and we can go out and enjoy the day.
Welcome to another episode of Toby's Stupid Vlog.
We come into queue and they finally opened up the greenhouse. I should say the posh shed. You can buy these, but rather than buy one, you can just come and sit in this one and read and write and quietly contemplate. Just outside the greenhouse are the winter crocuses, which are massive. This is the life and death exhibition in the Shirley Sherwood Gallery. These are all dried flowers. There's about 375,000 of them, all on these threads, which are copper wire hanging from the ceiling. And then you just walk between them essentially. Good morning. So today I have a normal day where I can edit some videos, read some board papers, and not get up at stupid times, which is very nice. I am currently editing the Bologna-Florence vlog. I'm wearing my Bologna t-shirt from the university, which it's my second one, jumper, and it's my second one because the first one was too big. So now I have two, which is great. Double Bologna. But on that note, yesterday we made an amazing ragu, which I haven't eaten yet. But very much looking forward to eating, I think, later this week. It's Treat Yourself week, because Friday is Treat Yourself Day, October 13th. Put that in your diaries. And so we're going out for dinner. We've also made a lot of fantastic food when I got back from work yesterday, including a paella that we had, a minestrone that we're having today, because it's veggie day, and then a ragu for later in the week. But right now, I need money, so I'm going to a cash point. Very old-fashioned. It's a reasonably pleasant autumn day. Like the sort of catastrophic end of autumn that sort of happens somewhere around the mid-late October has not occurred yet, when all the leaves give up and any idea that it's not cold vanishes. So it's still holding on. This is still the nice half of autumn. So I'm making the most of it. I'm going for a walk. I'm going to go and buy some kimchi for my veggie lunch, and to get my steps up a bit, because it's 2 days in the office are quite sedentary over the weekend, which is not good. So if I haven't mentioned it before, Treat Yourself Day, which I'm sure I mention this every year, is the 13th of October, and it is an invention of Parks and Recreation, the TV sitcom. And the basic principle of Treat Yourself Day, well, it's in the title, is that you should have a day which you just indulge yourself a bit. One day a year. And that day is October the 13th. And the reason to do it then is, you know, summer's over, the nights are getting longer and days shorter and what have you. It's your last opportunity to really sort of, well, not your last opportunity, but it's an opportunity to kind of have a bit of a blowout and forget about the fact that summer's been and gone. It's a good excuse, it's quite fun, and we're doing it again, as per usual. This week is also the last week you can use the old £1 coins, and for those of you watching this far into the future, £1 coins used to be a circular single colour coin. It was kind of a brassy goldy colour, but they were so easily forgeable that they eventually replaced them. But this is the last week they're legal tender, so go out and spend them on yourself. Treat yourself. So I didn't do enough steps when I went to fetch my kimchi this morning, so I've come out to do a few more this afternoon whilst my video is rendering. The only problem with editing holiday videos, if when you leave it a little too long, it's probably the same as going through old holiday photos, is that you immediately feel a sort of holiday blues that you didn't have 24 hours earlier. So I'm glad I've done those. I'm glad they're done. They're very nice, but I need a little more time to sort of digest it and not sort of live in the past, as it were. So I'm continuing on my little stroll, just a round trip, and then I've got to catch up a couple more vlogs, to be honest. The week got back and the week after that, so then I'll be fully vlogged up. That's the plan. And as I mentioned, today's Veggie Day, Veggie Monday. Just quite been doing now for, I don't know, 7 years maybe, something like that, maybe more. God, it's been a hell of a long time anyway. Probably pretty much since I moved to Kew. I've explained reasons behind sort of partial vegetarianism before. Broadly speaking, I can't get behind the idea of full-blown vegetarianism, although I respect people that do, because I like meat too much and my body is designed that of a carnivore, so it's easier to actually do what it wants. But doing it once a week does cut down your carbon emissions quite substantially. In fact, if you just want to make a little change to your CO2 footprint, then cut out red meat entirely, because farming cows in particular is very unfriendly for the environment, and sheep slightly less so, pigs slightly less so again. Chickens doesn't make a huge amount of difference. But if you don't like the idea of eating sentient creatures, then fair enough, vegetarianism is the way to go. I can't, if I'm honest, get behind the idea of veganism. I don't buy it on moral grounds, I'm afraid. You can obviously do what you want, but I just think that's going a step too far for no obvious gain. There we go. Every diet to themselves. I noticed the current leader of the Formula 1 World Championship has recently gone vegan. And another friend of mine has actually as well. If you can stick with it, fair enough, but if you can actually, the real trick is making sure you get the right amount of balance in your diet and all the vitamins and minerals that you actually need. It's a bit trickier when you go all the way to veganism, but I have to say supermarkets do actually cater pretty well nowadays for people with all sorts of intolerances, which allows you to buy things without lactose in, things without egg in, and all sorts. So, you know, I guess you can do anything if you put your mind to it. I'm just not tempted to put my mind to that particular problem. So this week I am at home today and Wednesday. I have a board meeting Wednesday evening, although my iPad is not working properly, so that'll be fun. And tomorrow, Tuesday, I'm at USP, and Thursday I'm also there, and Friday is Treat Yourself Day, and we've already covered that. Happy Wednesday afternoon. I keep thinking it's Thursday because I'm on my way to a board meeting, and in fact this is the last board meeting of the year that I can actually walk to because it'll still be light. Because before the next board cycle the clocks will go back, which is very depressing. So I'm making the most of it despite the weather being rubbish. It's not cold, but it is unimpressive, gloomy, grey, just generally not that appealing. But still best to get out, do some steps and not sit on the sofa all day. So that's what I'm doing. I can't believe it's pretty much a year exactly since we were up here in Richmond Park doing pre-wedding photos and tastings over in Sion. It has been quite a manic year, and in fact the last 6 months it hasn't slowed down that much. Obviously we're getting very close to the 6-month anniversary of our wedding, which is the 30th of October, and I'm working, so isn't that brilliant? Spoiler alert, it's not. Nobody is happy with that. Certainly not me. But anyway, what we're going to try and do is make the most of Treat Yourself Week, and Friday in particular, in lieu of the anniversary, and then try and do something, you know, a bit more memorable on the first anniversary. Here's some very sound advice. How odd that they need to put that sign. I can't believe that anyone who wants to jump off the bridge would be deterred by a sign, but there we go. It is Teddington Lock I've got to so far. And once across this bridge, I'm nearly there. So that sign was singular, and there's 2 bridges here. So does that mean you are allowed to jump off this one? Very confused. So there it is, there is Teddington Lock. And incidentally, the reason you shouldn't jump off these bridges, not least because the other one is actually through boat traffic, it's actually because it's quite shallow and you're more than likely going to hit the bottom. So there's a bit of helpful advice. Oh no, there's a relief. That was me thinking I could have jumped, never mind. So that's all cleared up now. Here we are, back at RHB. In plenty of time for my board meeting. That didn't take very long at all, that walk. Oh well, I can sit here and make my iPad work maybe. Hello, happy Friday and happy treat yourself day. I have been working on a video all morning, so not much of a treat, but later on I'm going to go and pick up the wine that I ordered at the beginning of the week. And that's going to be very exciting, some very nice Italian wine. I'm going out for a meal at Gaucho's in Richmond this evening. That's going to be good also. And I'm going to go for a nice walk once I finish this video. But first of all, the first treat is lunch. Oh, the other thing I should mention, we've done for Treat Yourself Days, we bought ourselves membership of historic royal palaces. You might remember we went to the Queen's Gallery a while back, and I was talking about how a lot of the royal palaces you could visit. Well, we bought HRP membership and we're going to go and visit a palace. Why not? This weekend. It's 5 o'clock and I'm going out to pick up my wine. It looks really miserable, but it's surprisingly warm and I'm a bit confused, but I've been indoors all day editing a video, so that's probably why I'm confused. So I'm taking the long way to the wine shop. I'm going currently completely the wrong direction. I've discovered that when I work at USP during the week, I do very, very little exercise. Looking at the number of steps I do when I go up there, that means that days either side of that, I have to kind of compensate. Otherwise, I just feel really sort of stiff and my leg and my back starts hurting because I've just been sedentary too long. So I did obviously a load of steps when I walked to Richmond to Teddington on Wednesday. But today, because of all the stupid video editing, I've yet to do 1,000 steps even. So that's why I'll be going on this slightly strange detour to pick up some wine. I know it seems massively counterintuitive to do exercise to pick up alcohol, but there we go. And this evening we're going to Gaucho, as I mentioned, so there has to be at least a little bit of a walk, but they have a golf buggy. So if I had a choice between a bit of a walk and a golf buggy, you know I'm going to pick golf buggy every time. So it's time for the word of the day, word of the week even. Today's word is garden, because look where we are. We're in a garden. I'm brilliant at this, aren't I? So in Italian, garden is il giardino. Il is the masculine form of the, and giardino is as spelt on screen. So that is garden in Italian. So you would say sono nel giardino, which means I'm in the garden. And in German, a garden is der Garten. So that is der, which is again the masculine form of the, and Garten, so it's written on screen. So there we go. That is your word of the week. It's garden. I have to say the honeymoon gave me a great appreciation of Italian wine, or more precisely refound my fascination with Italian wine. Rediscovered, that's the word I'm looking for. I obviously used to drink a lot of Chianti because I spent so much time in Siena and Tuscany and what have you. But it was nice to find other iterations of not just the Sangiovese grape, but other grapes from northern Italy, and the fact that it changes so dramatically so quickly when you get into the mountains. If you have any interest in wine, then I'd suggest a little exploration of Italy and not just the obvious bits, although they're very good. Like, you know, red Chianti is wonderful and the Super Tuscans are great, and You can find some great Prosecco in the Venezia region, but there's so much more going on than that. So there we go, that's why I've decided to buy these wines, and that's why I'm currently on a little walk. And the sun's almost coming out, so that's nice. There's some sort of mushroom massacre has gone on here. Now I really fancy porcini. That's how my brain works. I'm like, oh, mushrooms, lovely. Right, I'm taking the opposite of, whatever the opposite of scenic is. This is the unscenic route to Kew Village, down what is ostensibly a completely pointless alleyway because it runs parallel to the road anyway. But, you know, what the hell. Richmond by night, it's kind of mostly dark. This is the river. Can't see the other side because it's all dark. This is the towpath along to where Steins and Gaucho are. You can just see the flames in the distance, maybe. There's not many people sitting outside now, or rather none. It's very nice. I don't think you can quite see the glow in the sky. Light pollution from Twickenham. Hello, the reason it's light again is because I recorded this earlier because I knew I'd forget after having too much steak and wine. But I thank you very much for watching this week's vlog, and I hope you will join me again at some point soon, ideally next week. The easiest way to do that is to subscribe, which you can do by clicking the red subscribe button if it is still red. And thank you very much again. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time.
Toby Stupid